Hi, folks. This is Jabbar Thomas, your instructor for DMPT 2600. I am creating a tutorial video that's going to get you started in working with Adobe Premiere Pro CC Creative Cloud 2020. Essentially, I'm going over the material that they cover in the setting up chapter of the textbook. And just in case you're wondering what the textbook looks like, the textbook looks like this: the Adobe Premiere Pro Classroom in a Book 2020 release by Maxim Jago. Now there are other versions of Adobe Premiere Pro, the book, the Classroom in a Book release. There's 2019, 2018, 2017, and so forth. I'm going to be teaching the class out of the 2020 release, and I'm going to be assuming that you have access to and you're using Adobe Premiere Pro 2020, the program. Okay. Now, one thing that a lot of people mistakenly think is that when you purchase the book, you get the program with it. You do not. When you purchase the program, you basically get a subscription. It's a cloud-based subscription that you can subscribe to on Adobe.com. Okay. And essentially, you can you should definitely set up an account. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and sign in on mine. Okay. And then essentially what you can do after that is you can purchase an app. I'm sorry, not purchase the app, purchase a subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud. Now, one thing I do want to tell you is the fact that the Adobe Creative Cloud is a very useful program. And if you're really in any class other than 1000, DMPT 1000, especially during this time of coronavirus quarantine, you pretty much have to buy a subscription or have to pay for a subscription to this because, of course, you don't have access to the computers at school. And DMPT 2600 and many other courses require that you use a program within the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. Just in case you don't know, the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite is a group of 20 to 25 different programs that you can access for a monthly fee. Okay. Usually I think it's like $80 a month for regular people. However, for students, you can get a discount of $19.99 a month for the first year, and I think it goes up to $29.99 a month for every month after that while you're a student. Okay, you do have to go through a process where they confirm that you are a student, and instructions for that are on the website here. But the idea is I've gone to adobe.com, or you can go to creativecloud.adobe.com. I'm going to click on View All Plans. Okay. Here is the one I was talking about right here. This is the students and teachers cloud plan, $19.99 a month. You can either pay it monthly, or if you want to, pay it for a whole year all at once, you can do that. You click, buy now, and you would enter your credit card information, and you also would have to provide information that's proving that you are it's verifying that you are verifying that you are a student. So once you start filling out your payment method, things like that, if you're a student, you click on continue the verification, and it'll ask you for some information like your school email address, or sometimes they used to ask for a scan of your school ID, of your current school ID, to prove that you're a student and you're eligible for this discount. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to make sure you have access to. You need to make sure you have access to the program. I've shown you how. Okay, you need to get a subscription. You need a subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud. The specific program we're going to be using again is Adobe Premiere Pro. That's one of 20 to 25 programs that you get with your subscription. It is an extremely excellent buy as far as getting the subscription. You don't buy the program. It's more like you're paying a phone bill every month. But the idea is you every time they upgrade, like we just upgraded to 2020, every time they upgrade, as long as you're paying your monthly bill, it'll upgrade for you. And I can definitely tell you, if you're really serious about working in film, animation, television, or anything in the visual arts, graphic design included, even recording arts, because they have a great recording arts program called Adobe Audition. you definitely want to invest in your future, invest in yourself, and get a subscription to the program. So that being said, let's go back to the textbook. After you've gotten subscription, you have access so you can do the exercises because you have the app. Now you want to procure the textbook. Here's your textbook. There's the e-text version of it or the Kindle version of it. There is the physical version of it. I like e-text books because I can do things like this. I can make tutorials where I show you what's in the book and what's going on with the book. Also, I have a lot of books, as you could probably imagine, and it would be very cumbersome carrying them around. So if I purchased the Kindle version of the book and it's saved to the cloud, I can access it from any device that I have registered with Amazon.com in my particular case, because I have the Kindle app. The Kindle app is not just for Kindle devices, it's for any smart device. That means any laptop, Android or Mac, or sorry, PC or Mac, any tablet or phone, Android or Mac, and of course any desktop, PC or Mac. So you're pretty much, if you have any kind of technology where you can connect to the internet, you're pretty much covered as far as ebooks. Okay, I just find it more convenient, and also many times, not all the time, but most of the time, the ebook is significantly less expensive than the physical book. Okay, so purchase the textbook, and after you purchase the textbook, the next thing you want to do is realize this. Like I said before, when you buy the textbook, you do not get a copy of Adobe Premiere Pro or any other Creative Cloud app with it. However, what you do get is, after you purchase the textbook, you get access to bonus content. That is, when you work through the book, you work through the exercises in the book, you are basically following along with editing projects they've done in the book. So as a result, you need the same materials that they're using in the textbook. They supply you those materials after you purchase the textbook. You get those materials, the lesson files, that is the Premiere Pro project files, and the assets, that is the footage, the video, the Photoshop documents, the JPEGs, or whatever they use, the actual material they shot that they're going to edit together in Premiere. Those are called assets. They supply those as well. So you have the book, you have the app. Let's get the assets in the project files or the lesson files. Let's go to peachpit.com. Peachpit.com is where you want to go. And you're going to sign up for a free account at peachpit.com. You're going to click account sign in, although you don't have one yet. And then you have two sides, sign in and create an account. I have an account, so that's why that's filled out already. However, let's assume you don't have an account. Create an account is what you're interested in. You're going to click on sign up. And you're going to fill out this create an account information. Okay, and make sure you check the checkbox at the bottom there. Okay, you can definitely have to check the first one, but you can decide whether you want to check the second one. And then click create an account, and it will give you an account, just like mine. Okay, your account will keep track of all of the Peach Pit Press books that you purchase, so you can access them all from this website, from your account, once you sign into your account. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I keep myself signed in and click sign in. Of course, you do all the typical stuff to create an account, like you guys have probably done a bazillion times. Okay, and as you can see, when I signed in, I went to my account page. Like I told you, it keeps track of all the textbooks that I purchased from Peach Pit. All right, the particular one that I'm interested in, that you're interested in, is the Adobe Premiere Pro Classroom in a Book 2020 release. You're not going to see this under your account initially because you have to register it first. Okay, so essentially, once you create your account, once you create your account, it's going to ask you for the ISBN number for the textbook that you purchased. Okay, the ISBN number is just kind of like a number they use to keep track of the edition of the book. Okay, the ISBN number is the same for all textbooks, all the books that are Adobe Premiere Pro 2020 release, classroom and a book, the same ISBN number. And what you're going to do is you're going to type in this ISBN number from the textbook. I got this, by the way, just in case you're wondering. If you don't have a physical version of the text, it's on in location 43 in my case. You can see it's just before the where are the lesson files section, which is what I'm going to do right now. Okay, you want to type in 978-0-13-660-220-0. And once you type that in, it's going to take you to another page that, of course, I can't show you here because I've already registered mine. Typing in the ISBN number does not register the book per se, and it does not give you access to the lesson files and the assets. All that does is just tells them, typing in your ISBN number tells them what book you're talking about. After you type in your ISBN number, it's going to further ask you, it's going to give you a question that's going to sound kind of like a riddle. And it's going to ask you, for example, what is in the third lesson of the book, what's the third word in the first sentence under the section on importing files into Adobe Premiere? Okay, it'll ask you a question like that, and you'll have to go to the book. You have to find the chapter they're talking about. Let's say it's importing media. Okay, and I said the importing media files section is where it is. Okay, and you get all this information from the question they ask you once you start the process of registering your book, by the way. Third word, when you import. Import is a third word. So if that was a question they gave you, you go back to Peach Pit and you type in import into as an answer to the password, and then you get access to all of this. You'll see your textbook. You'll see something called access bonus content, which is what we're interested in. And you'll see, well, I have a lot of books here, so you can see the other books. But the idea is this does not give you access to the actual application of the program, Adobe Premiere Pro, at all. All it does is it allows you to access the bonus content that you need to have in order to follow along with the exercises in the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the access bonus content link. And as you can see here, it has this actually you can download you look at the section right here, download project and asset files. You're going to go to this second section. There's some bonus chapters here. We're not going to talk about that right now, but in this second section, download project and asset files, you want to click on the lessons 1 through 7. These are just the project files, lessons only, it says, or lesson files. It's going to give it to you in a zip archive. Okay, so I'll just download it just to my desktop. You can do that too if you want to. Click save. Okay, but your lesson files are no good if you don't have the actual assets to go with it. The assets are the assets, that's the footage that was shot, or the Photoshop document that was created that you're going to use and edit together in your projects. So I'm going to click assets A, for example, and it's going to ask me where I want to save it. It'll save it as a zip archive. I'll just download this one because it's going to take you a minute to do this. You need to have at least 6.32 gigabytes of space on your hard drive. And I suggest you put this like somewhere super easy to find for now, just so that you don't download it and you can't find it and you have to download it again and you can't find it. And each time you do that, you're chewing up space on your hard drive. So make sure you put it in a super easy place to save, to find rather. And I'm going to put assets A, click save. You can see down here it's saving it. By the way, if you're working with a PC, the process is exactly the same. Your interface is going to look a little different, but everything is exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Finder, which the PC people know as their desktop, and I can see I've dropped my lessons only file. If I double click on that, when I double click on a zip file, it gives me a folder that has a whole bunch of other files inside of it. The idea is this: zipping is a way of compressing a whole bunch of files into a single folder and making the file size as small as possible so you can easily fit it on the web so you can download it when you need it. Okay, So this lessons file, zip file, I just double clicked it, it opened it up. If you are on a PC, you do the same thing on a PC. You could also control click it, and you may have a command that says something like uncompress. Uncompressing is the same thing as double clicking to open it up. Okay, and then I'll double click the assets A zip file. Okay, there it is. Once again, I get a folder called assets, and then I get these files. Now the thing is, these file folders. Now, the thing is that they have a really nice organized system here for you. Okay, I'll download one more assets folder just to kind of show you where we're going with this. Drop it on the desktop again. All right. So here's, it's easy to get them confused. So make sure that you're very careful about which ones you release. You unzip, that is, uncompress. Give it a few more moments here to do this. This is, like I said, altogether, this may take you the better part of an hour or slightly more to download all assets A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Basically what that is they've broken all the assets that you're going to need to use throughout the book into these separate zip files. And so you're going to have to download them. After you download them, you don't want to just leave them sitting out on your desktop. As a matter of fact, what you want to do is, I'm unzipping the assets B zip file, by the way, by double clicking on it. What you want to do is you want to organize them. Okay, assets B folder. Okay, I have other folders that have video in them. For example, I'll control click. Let's find something interesting. I'll control click this clip of the bird, or you can double click it. I'm going to control click it, choose open with from the shortcut menu that opens, and choose QuickTime Player just to see what the video is. It's a video of a rose or a flower blowing in the breeze. A rose blowing in the breeze. Great, wonderful. So that is an asset, or that's footage. Assets, footage, media, same thing. These are the raw ingredients with which we put together our project in Premiere, our finished edited movie. Okay, now the idea is this: I have a folder called assets, and anything that's an asset, which is everything that's down here, this needs to go into the assets folder. So I'm gonna select the top one, Andreas Sweeney NYC, press and hold shift, select the bottom one, Desert, excuse me, and then drag and drop all the selected files into the assets folder. Okay, so now all of my assets that I've downloaded so far, assets A and assets B, are living in the assets folder. You want to continue to do this process all the way through assets G. Just so I can declutter up here, I can go ahead and delete some of these zip files once I have uncompressed them and organized the media. I'm gonna also delete this assets B folder. I don't need that anymore. I want to make it nice and clean as possible. Lessons only. Look at what I have here. I have project files. .proj is the suffix or the tag that you're going to see behind each one of these lesson files. These are project files and these are lesson files. The difference is that these are project files that specifically refer to lessons or chapters in the textbook. Okay, PROJ stands for Premiere Project File. Okay, this one goes with lesson 1. This one goes with lesson 3. There is no lesson 2 Premiere Pro project file. Okay, but in any case, these lesson files always need to be somewhere near your assets. Okay, so let's pretend that you have downloaded C, D, E, F, G assets, and you've unzipped them, and each one of them you've gone inside of the folders and you've dumped them inside of the assets folder. Okay, what you want to do is you want to now make a master folder, and it's going to be a little different in Premiere, but it's the same idea. I can go File, New Folder in Premiere. I'm sorry, file new folder in the Finder that's outside of Premiere because I haven't really launched Premiere yet. And I'm going to make a master folder that's going to contain the lessons only folder and the assets folder because I want to keep them nice and together and in the same place. Let's call this, name it after the book, Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2020. CIB, that's what I use to abbreviate Classroom in a Book files. So that's my master folder, and I'm going to drop assets and lessons only into this folder. I can, instead of lessons only, I could have called it lessons. That's what they tip that folder.
Here's what I found.
Okay, so I have the asset C that opened up. I'm going to show you one more time. If I double click on it, it's going to just show me assets, a folder full of folders, and inside of those folders I have a bunch of assets. And I'm going to drop those individual folders of assets into the Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2020 CIB files master folder, and then inside the assets folder. So I'm not going to just drop asset C in. That's not how I want to do this. I'm going to spin down the triangle and I'm going to choose double identity, dragon boats. I'm going to choose all of these folders, each of which contains assets. Okay, these are asset files down here, video files, in other words. Okay, I'll show you one that, okay, for example, here's one with an eagle walking. Okay, that's an asset, that's media, that's footage that was shot. I need to have that in conjunction with my lesson file. So I'm gonna select all of the asset files. I'm not gonna drop it just into Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2020 CIB files. I wanna be super duper obsessively organized. That's the first principle of being an editor. You have to be extremely organized. You have to be compulsive, obsessively organized. So I'm gonna drop into the assets folder. Just like, do not drop it into one of these folders that are already there. Don't do that. Make sure you drop it into an empty space in your assets folder so they'll all be on the surface level of your assets folder. You can see them all. So you continue this with D, E, F, and G. Okay, folders, that same process. So I have two folders, assets and lessons, and those two folders are inside of the Adobe Premiere Pro 2020 CIB files folder. Let's go ahead and choose that empty assets folder in that zip file that I've already uncompressed, and let's go ahead and delete those. Go move to trash. I don't need those anymore. Okay, got it. Okay, so essentially that is what you're going to do to get access to all of the files that you need to do the exercises in the text. Now I'm going to delete what I just downloaded because of the fact that that takes up a whole lot. It takes up a whole lot of space on my hard drive. I have a lot of other files there as well, and I already have this. So I'm, always be aware of how much space you have on your hard drive. You should do system maintenance once in a while. That means maybe every month you go through your computer and you delete any files that you're not going to use anymore, or at the very least, back them up to another hard drive. Maybe if you have an external hard drive or flash drive, save them there so you can save some space on your internal hard drive. So in this video tutorial, we have learned about Adobe Creative Cloud, the subscription. We've learned how you can get it, where you can get it from, how much it costs. We've also learned about the textbook. We know what the textbook is. We've learned about the assets in the lesson files. We know how to register our textbook on the peachpit.com website and get access to the assets in the lesson files. We know how to download those assets in lesson files and organize them. And now you're ready to start working in chapter 1 in the text. Okay, so I'll see you again in the next video tutorial where I give you a tour of the Adobe Premiere Pro interface.